Welcome to Golden Drop. My name is Sharon McDonald. I am the mom of 5 children. As a mom of 5, I am in love with this time that we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to take the blend of courage first. And so that is the courage blend is brave. I love this. This is the one. I'm not a big fan of all of these. And if you know me, you know that I don't like motivate. So at first, one of my kids said, "This is like motivate." And I was like, "Oh, no, don't." He wanted to put it on me. And I was like, "Don't get away from me. I don't want to smell that." But this one smells actually really, really good. And so applying it on the back of the neck is going to be helpful to be able to move that into the system. They can also put it on the bottoms of their feet. One of my favorite things about this is that they're pre-diluted. They're ready for your kids to use whenever they want. You don't have to worry about them overdosing themselves, and so they can use it. And I remember Micah going around all the time when he was little with past tense in his hand. And I always worried about him getting it in his eyes and really being affected in that way. And these, you don't need to worry about that because they're already diluted and ready for them to be able to use however they want. And they love to be like us. They love to do what we're doing anyway. So this one helps with making new friends and team sports, collaborative things that maybe it's not easy to open up and participate in things. Potty training. I remember potty training my 5 children. Ezra refused to potty train, flat out refused to potty train. And it wasn't until I told him we were living in Slovakia, not Slovakia, we were living back in America. And I told him, listen, if you want to go to kindergarten, like this was my biggest mistake. If you want to go to kindergarten, you need to learn to potty train. And you have man poo right now. And I don't want to change that. You're 3 years old. And he told me he remembers that to this day. And he said, I could have gone to the toilet anytime I wanted, but I just wanted to be able to have the final say. I'm like, you turkey, are you kidding me? But potty training is a way for them to feel brave. This can be in the bathroom where it's a ritual and it's a party. And, maybe if I would have put a music toilet in there for Ezra, he would have used the toilet. I don't know, but he was not going for it. How about electronic addiction? Okay, how many of you have kids who spend too much time and they sneak it, even if you have rules in place, but they sneak it and they're sitting in there and they're, doing their thing in the middle of the night? This is a good way to be able to help them. Apply it to the wrists like this right here, and then on the temples, and then doing, why is it so easy for me to never game? To game very rarely or whatever, and help them make new patterns. The next one is the focus blend, and this is Thinker. And I love this one. This one's got a little vetiver in it. And I like to rub it right over my forehead like this and apply it like this because Isaiah and I just got into it. Isaiah's 21, and he got angry at me because I process very fast, okay? So he was wanting to know what he could do here at the house to help. What did we need help with? And he was very frustrated because I was just rattling it off, like boom, 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 boom. Even though I had written it on a card and given him his tasks, I was going too fast for his brain to process. So he was frustrated with me and shared with me in no uncertain terms how unfair it was that I just was, what did he call it? Not blasting him, but pretty much like a fire hose, right? That's how he was feeling. And I was like, wow, where's your responsibility in this? But where's my responsibility? So I apologized and I just said, how would you like this delivered to you, right? Like I already gave you a list, and so that you didn't have to come to me and talk to me, right? Like you could just go on your merry way. But Thinker is good for people just like him and just like me. Okay. I do tend to have a lot of energy, but that doesn't mean that I can't slow down. I can't mirror someone else's behavior, but thinker is for those people who really overthink and overprocess. When I say overprocess, I'm talking about the overwhelm. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Easily overwhelmed. And for me, as a fast processor, for me, it's just, I'm not ADD. It's just I process really fast. You get one word out and I've got your next 5 already processed, ready to go. So for me, slowing down and having vetiver allows me to allow other people that space to feel comfortable and confident without feeling like they're getting fire hosed from me. Does that make sense? So with kids, this is a really great one for homework time, for any attention things like ADD, ADHD. It's not going to take it away, but it's going to help focus an individual and help them give that time. Creative writing, where someone may not be confident in that creative ability to be able to write and put themselves out there. And sometimes writing, for little kids is long and tedious. They don't know how to hold the pencil correctly. And so their hand gets achy and, those muscles need to be developed. Test taking. This is a really good one for taking tests. It's got a little bit of peppermint in there. And so it really allows you to be able to bring things down. It's got vetiver and clementine and rosemary. So that peppermint and rosemary help for recall. So this is a really great way for us to do that. And then confusion and distraction, okay? Just remember with distraction, when someone's looking for distraction, it is sometimes avoidance behavior, all right? And avoidance behavior is, well, listen, I don't want to take responsibility for what I need to do, or I'm just overwhelmed and I don't want to feel like this. So these essential oils are really good for people like that. And again, we've got another little recipe for that. It helps with people who have Asperger's, attention disorders, like I was saying, anybody on the autism spectrum, and any mental mood enhancements that might need to be made. The grounding blend, you guys. I love the grounding blend. It is steady, and it's one of my favorites because it's very light and airy. Men, this is almost like a cologne. Okay, and so I'm going to just put this over my thyroid because I haven't put my oils on my thyroid. And the reason why I'm doing this is in here is amyris, balsam fir, coriander, and magnolia. I'm not a fan of magnolia by itself, but when you put it with something like this, vetiver would actually also be very, very good in this, just so you know, because it's going to be very grounding. And so if you ever want to put a little vetiver in this bottle, don't be afraid. You will love it, I promise. This is really good for chronic pain, for circulation issues, for cough. It is also really good for scrapes, bumps, and bruises. So this is a great one to make sure you have in the diaper bag or in the car. Like Kiara said, having all of these in the car is really quick access. This is really good for social anxiety and feeling frazzled, like you are too much, too busy, too soon. So it's one of those ways to just kind of relax, get a little bit more useful timeouts where they have a chance to think and ground and get themselves together. The wah-wah baby, if you ever have those kiddos that maybe are Debbie Downers and they whine all the time and cry, apply to the temples of their body, and then their wrists, and help them calm down from one of those tantrums that they're having. This is going to be really good. Again, I'm telling you, add some vetiver to this. I will be your best friend. Okay. You'll be like, Sharon McDonald taught me to put vetiver in it, and they should put vetiver in this, I promise. Bad news busters. If you know you're going to be delivering, say the goldfish died, this is a great one. I'm going to show you a sneaky trick that I do with my kids when I don't want them to know I'm oiling them up. I put it on my hand like this, and then I walk behind them and I run my hand through their hair. Like, hey, how you doing? Just kind of mess up their hair. And it's a good way. You can do the same thing with animals. You've got an animal that needs it, rub it on your hand, and then just wipe their fur, and then talk to them and do that. The only thing you can't do that with is a plant, okay? if you've got to break the news to the plant that you're killing it, you know you're not watering it, it's not going to work for a plant. But for humans and animals, this works good. In fact, I use this in a spray bottle in my chicken coop. We have a turkey that thinks he's a chicken, and there is a chicken that's in love with the turkey. Okay, and the turkey is a little bit of a pullet. He's getting ready to go through a growth spurt right now. But this is where there's a dominant chicken in there. She's a red, Rhode Island red, and she's a little bit aggressive and she's a little bit rude. And so I went out and I sprayed this on her. And every day I need to do this. And I've sprayed it on the turkey as well, because it will keep her away from him. It's very crazy. Frankincense does the same thing. So if you've got a chicken that's feeling like they want to peck at another one, you spray it on the one that's being picked on, and they will stop it. You spray it on the one that is picking, and they will stop it. It's a very, very interesting phenomenon. But that's how I use it in the chicken coop here on the farm. So let's move on to the next one really quickly. The protective blend is stronger, and this one is just like On Guard. It's just got a little bit different of a smell because it's got some different essential oils. Cedarwood, linseed, frankincense, and rose are in here, and it is lovely. My favorite way right here on the glands, that's my favorite way to apply this. And because sometimes, like the other day, I felt like I was kind of coming down with something. It had been a little hazy here, but it's also getting ready to be school time. And when the kids go back to school, they inevitably come home with strep throat the first week. So right now I'm making them every day put this on their glands and then rub it on the back of their neck. And they're also with a bunch of kids who have just been on vacation. They're doing their last camps. So my boys are in lacrosse camp right now. And so they're in with kids who have been all over vacationing, and now they're getting ready to come back to school. So everybody's doing these last minute camps. And this is a great one to be able to do that. So it's great for cold, flu, for playtime, for zombie attacks, you know, when there's bacteria and viruses and you know that you're inevitably gonna, you know, maybe somebody's gonna pick up something. Awesome for brand new babies. And there is a new trend that I heard from somebody that pediatricians are asking mothers to stay home with their kids for 6 weeks. I would have gone crazy had anybody told me I had to stay home for 6 weeks with my baby and not go out anywhere. And I'm also a firm believer in naturally getting kids immune to things. So Julie, do you have anything you want to say about that? And are you still going out and are you using these oils to help that extra boost?
Yeah, I made a On Guard blend so that I could put it on to help your immune system. But yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's that sweet boo-boo right now. Oh, thank you so much for that. So you still go out and you still do your gig, right?
Yep.
Good. Yeah. I would have died had somebody made me stay home, like for real. So yeah, it's interesting. Thank you so much for doing that for us and sharing. And so you diluted On Guard. You didn't use this one?
No.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you. So On Guard does come in a touch roller bottle. It's great. So I would recommend for that, using that. The next one is Restful Blend. And this is also another favorite of mine. Because again, lavender, Kananga, I always want to say Chenanga. Kananga, Buddha wood, and then Roman chamomile are in here. And I love this because it's easy for sleep. It's easy for monsters under the bed. It's easy for arguments when people are you want to diffuse an argument. And again, back of the neck, right? On the ears. This is the other thing about these roller bottles. You can apply to the ears really, really well. And then again, along the forehead, it helps this. And then grown-up relaxation. This is a chance for us to chill out when we're wanting to argue with our kids or just say, just get it done. Please stop the conversation. So this is just a really great one. I'm going to be adding a recipe for this one too. It is called a nighttime butter. So this is a nighttime, for those of you who have a nighttime routine for yourself or your children, I'm a big fan of rituals in the nighttime and in the morning to be able to get kids prepared for bed and have a good night's sleep, along with getting up in the morning and having a nice day. And then we have the last one that we have is the soothing blend. And this is similar to deep blue for those of you who are curious about that. But it's not deep blue, because in this we have copaiba, we have lavender, we have spearmint, and then we have this other essential oil called xanthoxylum, okay, xanthoxylum, okay, so I'm probably slaughtering that. Be patient with me, I'm just a learner. And this is awesome for battle wounds. And what I love in this is that it's got lavender and copaiba in it. So this is one, if I am in a pinch and I don't have my headache blend, when I start to get a little bit of a migraine, back of the neck, on my ears, behind my ears, okay, just like this. And this is where I hold my tension, right along my hairline. So then I come up and I draw a line over the top of my head. And this is a gem because of all these oils that are in it. So it's great for sports injuries, for growing pains, for self-trust. A lot of times this is one where you want to teach your children how to trust their intuition, trust that gut instinct. This is one that will help them. And so if they come to you and you're like, well, what do you think? What's your thought? Well, I don't know. Well, why don't we go ahead and try some of this, this stronger, right? And be able to, rescuer, and be able to get this in there and use this. What are you going to do for this? Okay. And really help them to be able to tap into that. It's one of my very favorite things to do for my kids, because I believe that the sooner a child can get their own voice and really be able to express themselves, the healthier they are emotionally. That emotional intelligence is higher. And so this is a really good one. Another hack. This is amazing for stinky feet. So your kiddos that have stinky feet, have them rub it on the bottom of their feet, put their socks on in their shoes. You can also make this into a spray bottle. Just pour it into a spray bottle and add a little bit of water, shake it up and spray it into those stinky shoes. It's amazing. So that's all of the kids oils today. I know that was a lot and we went a little bit over because this is usually a 15-minute call, but I really wanted to be able to share with you this kids collection because it's so powerful and it's good for both adults, babies, and children. So there's not anybody in the family that won't benefit from it. Let us know what you think of these oils. What's your favorite thing? If you need help getting your own membership so that you can be a doTERRA customer, that's all a membership is becoming a customer. Please feel free to reach out and we will help you hook up. I really appreciate your time and I'll see you next week.